The government has unveiled plans to build a cycleway in a particularly treacherous route for cyclists between the capital and the Hutt Valley. Designs for the Ngāronga to Petone shared walking and cycling pathway are now up for public consultation, which will close later this year. It's predicted to cost $76 million, but $94 million has been put aside for the project. Charlie Drever was at today's announcement and she filed this report.
Cycling to Wellington from Petone, you'll spend much of your time weaving in and out of cycleways and onto State Highway 2, next to cars travelling 100 kilometres an hour. And as Great Harbour Way Trust Chair Graham Hall explains, it's not for the light-hearted.
At present you have to be very brave, especially to come back, heading back north, but either way you're exposed onto the motorway for a certain section, so only the very brave. We call them the road warriors actually.
Hutt Cycling Network's Ron Biernick is one of those road warriors who commutes every day into Wellington by bike, and he says some people have paid the ultimate price.
At the moment people are putting their lives at risk. I've had very scary moments. I know other people have had as well, and we know there's been fatalities.
But pleas from local organisations for a safer journey to and from the capital have now been answered. Associate Transport Minister Julianne Genter unveiled the government's plans to transform the coastal route into both a scenic destination and a congestion-free commuting option.
It's a transformational project that is not only going to benefit resilience, what with our changing climate, but will create a substantial community asset that will benefit tourism, give people real choices about how to get around, and be a great place for families to go on a beautiful day like today if it's a weekend.
The designs include a flyover bridge as well as a 5-metre wide lane for pedestrians and cyclists alike, which will double up as a buffer zone against storm surges and erosion. There will also be room for a picnic area and fishing. But Cycling Action Network project manager Patrick Morgan says it's not a new concept.
We've been waiting for literally 118 years for this. It was talked about in Parliament in 1901. So we're a patient lot. This day is a great day for us. Look, going from the Hutt to Wellington isn't so bad. There's a separated cycleway for some of that route. But coming back from Wellington to the Hutt is really unsatisfactory. Riding on the shoulder next to 100 km/h traffic is not a good idea.
The Transport Agency's Director of Regional Relationships, Emma Spate, says residents still have a while to wait before the pathway comes to fruition.
We're expecting construction to start in 2021. The consenting process for a project of this nature, given the marine environment, we would expect to take 1 to 2 years, and that just depends on the number of people who want to submit or have an interest in it and whether there's any appeals. If that process is shorter, then we would move into the construction phase earlier.
Emma Spate says construction work should take about 3 years, but in the interim she says they'll be working with cycling groups to come up with some low-cost safety measures until the project is completed. For Checkpoint, Charlie Drever, TNA.